Power89.com, Shamara, DJ Dodgy.
Hey.
This is Taz Daddy.
You.
This is Lola. Lola writes a blog, Sex, Shoes, and Scandal. Doesn't all of those things just sound like just to the... Anyway, Doc and I, we were always talking about home records.
Side Jones. Yes.
Matter of fact, one of my favorite songs during the 12 Noon Old School Lunch Buffet is...
Salt and Pepper, I'll Take Your Man.
I'll Take Your Man. Don't piss me off, because I will come out of retirement.
Easy midday, don't get more.
I'm a little backed up here.
Anyway,
no, actually, Lola wrote this interesting blog. The blog today is titled, The Benefits of Being the Other Woman.
Benefits?
The benefits.
Okay.
As a man, are there benefits for the other woman?
I personally think so. I mean, people come down hard on, the side joints. That's the proper term, we can call them that. The side joints. People come down hard on them. But nah, they're people too. Okay. They need love. And, they may not want the whole commitment thing. You know what I mean?
Okay.
My point. They may not want all that.
Okay. And Taz,
for me, it's more of a thing where if I've had side joints, it's been because there was something missing from what I was getting or not getting at home. And so if somebody else is going to fulfill that need, then...
Such a man.
Exactly. I'm real mannish with mine.
Okay, well, but we're not talking about your perspective.
But she said, as a man, is there a benefit to having a side joint?
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I need my needs fulfilled, and that's it. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to outsource.
Okay, well,
outsourcing.
Yes.
Speaking of outsource, friend, I've fallen victim to being the side John. I cracked the jokes about being a home wrecker earlier. What's up?
No, you didn't. Really?
Oh,
for real?
Really?
Oh,
I'm in shock.
It's not anything that I'm initially proud of. I mean, we've all been through relationships whereas we've done one thing or done another and just weren't too proud of it. Maybe we just didn't totally understand, typically what was going on. Yes, that's my excuse. I didn't know. Or, you could really just come forward and I'll be honest. I grew up in a house full of men.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like I hung out with dudes. My dad wasn't around. Hi, Jimmy. I know somebody's telling you about this. So I didn't know how to receive love from a man.
Okay.
So the first place I got it, that's where I was taking it from, regardless of where I got it from.
Okay.
But the point of Lola being here is, she's going to talk from the point of view of today's home wrecker, today's side joint, today's mistress. She's going to give a voice to those who have, hey.
Been on the sideline.
Yes, right. baby, the sun about to come up. I think you better get home.
Exactly.
To your woman.
It's morning.
The blog I wrote today was basically giving a voice to the other woman and her benefits because, as Shamara said, and as most women feel, they go into relationships not wanting to be that main woman, and they get the chance to have a mini relationship without being in a relationship and having to do all the dirty work. They don't have to be there to cook your meals at night and be there to answer all your phone calls. They can have you when they want you and you can go about your business. So that's the side joint of today. And a lot of side joints of today, they get houses, cars, clothes, everything that wifey gets. And they can sit and watch from the sidelines. But the problem is that if they continue these relationships for too long, then they want to be wifey. And that's where the problem arises because they start to get caught up in their feelings.
All right, so then, here. Maybe both sides are caught up in the feelings. And maybe as a man, and you guys can kind of, interject here. I only believe that women or men or people in relationships, they only do what their counterpart allows him or her to do.
Exactly.
And to get away with. So there has to be some lack of respect for the person that's holding the stakes to the relationship, that's in a relationship, that man, or because we don't call dudes. Well, can I get a jump off?
You can.
I can get a side.
You can have a boyfriend number 2.
Jump off?
I need boyfriend number 1 first. But do you get what I'm saying? I mean, there has to be some type of level of disrespect involved all around because people naturally, am I right or wrong?
Well, this is what I think. To put a little different spin on it.
Okay.
As far as the dude, because I can speak directly to the dude. In my opinion, a lot of dudes are not controlling their situation.
How about that?
You're giving. You know what? Nobody's trying to judge nobody. You do what you do. But if you got to jump off a side joint or whatever, you really need to control that. A lot of times, a lot of situations, and we have this, we jokingly, we say it all the time, the side joints are out of control.
Yes,
right now,
I wrote a blog about it, Invasion of the Jump Off.
The side joints are out of control. Side joints are walking over there, blasting people on the internet.
Screenshots.
They putting stuff out there. They putting pictures and stuff out there.
Don't date him, girl. Whatever it is.
They're going public or whatever. And my thing too, as the dude, and sometimes I'm a dude, and I think sometimes dudes get greedy. Dudes just want it all. I want it all. You need it. If I got wifey over here and I'm good in my situation and I want a little extra, I might just get that. And you got to start screening them. Like, look, I need to just not jump off with you. I need to know how you react under pressure. Are you going to wall out? Are you going to come knock on my door?
It's a game.
Are you going to whatever?
Yes,
Like, okay, after the screening process, okay, you cool. You know what? I got you.
Absolutely.
You're hired. You're hired.
But that's the thing. We don't do that. And a lot of times, especially, you're dealing with a lot of dudes who are adult males who are not men. Because a man who is on his game will sit there and say, listen, this is what I need from you. This is what I want from you. This is what I expect from you. But we have to start treating jump-offs like politics and really vet these people before you say, this is my running mate.
But then what happens is that you may get that one jump off and they don't know their role nowadays. Because it used to be a time when jump-offs knew their role. They played their position well. You didn't know them. They stayed in the background. You know, thinking back to your parents' era. Because men have been having affairs from the end of time.
Yeah.
So, you know, back in the 60s and 70s and early 80s, 90s, you didn't know about the other woman. They played their position well. Like I said, if you plan to be a jump-off, and I wrote it in my blog today, pick your position, play your role, and stay there. These women, and even if you vet them, they start off because they agree with what you say. They're going to. They're going to agree with everything you say. Oh yeah, boo, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do all of that for you. But then as they start to get the perks and they start to be with you, then they start to catch those feelings.
Yeah, and see, that's another thing though. Stop tricking. If you stop all this tricking, there will be no perks. On top of that, see, there's a difference between a vetting process and just letting somebody tell you what they think you want to hear. A vetting process involves, listen, not only do I know what it is you're telling me, but I've checked your background, I know what you're doing, and you got to stop picking jump-offs who don't have anything to lose.
Well, do you think necessarily, even with you, Lola, Doc, Taz, sometimes for a man, you guys can think, you know, from a man's point of view, for that woman to not necessarily know her role, that jump off, that mistress, do you think it's like almost like what caliber does she hold to the main woman? Do you know what I mean? Are you okay with PDA, with public display of affection with your jump off?
You don't do jump off.
You don't do those things. You don't take your jump off. Let's see.
You're not going to Cheesecake Factory.
We're not going. Yeah.
You're not going out.
Because they going all out these days.
Yeah. So again, it goes back to a level of respect or lack of respect.
Exactly.
Right there in the home period. Like, do you not respect the relationship that you're currently in that much that you are really giving this person outside of your household that much room to breathe?
When a man does not have any exposure to how a man is supposed to behave, they take on the characteristics of their mother. And they start to nurture, and they start to provide, and they start to give these things and rewards and so on and so forth. And that's why you have so many dudes out here tricking and putting women on a pedestal where they feel like they're equal with their main chick. And that's where a lot of these problems come in, because any real dude who is out here doing dirt isn't doing all of that. I mean, we're going to order in if you're my jump off. And I'm going to your spot, and I'll do you one better. Your spot is going to be at least 20 to 35 miles away from where I lay my head.
Well, I want to put a little different spin on it. I want to bring in your expertise. Because I want to bring in a class thing, like a situation. I don't want to say just a race thing, but I want to say race/class. Okay. Because you took it back, you said back in the day. It was a time when the salesman, he hits your town. You meet at room 222 at 2 a.m. in the morning. We do what we do, and that's it.
Done.
We out. That, you know, it was a time there, and there are still a lot of people that do that. Is there a class thing, like a certain class is still doing it, and they do it that way? You know what I mean? They still like, look, they make one phone call, I meet up with you, and then I'm out. But then, like you said, there's this other class of people, I don't know what that dividing line is, that, yeah, they do go out. They are, you know, on the internet taking pictures with the jump offs and doing stuff like that.
But is there necessarily a class? I mean, you have like the biggest names of entertainment, you know, being social, you know what I mean? Like being in social settings with their jump balls. You have like the hole-in-one dude, Tiger Woods. I mean, this dude lined them up.
Well, that's why I asked the question. Is it because...
Do you think, again, that it's class, or just that we've moved on from those times, those secret society type times?
Well, it could be. I think you flip it. No, I think if you flip it, and when you have too much money, you have a feeling. Athletes, entertainers, whatever, they have a feeling that I can do what they want to do.
Of entitlement.
And don't get it twisted. We're speaking of the side joints now, but don't think that a lot of these main joints were side joints.
Well, preach.
A lot of
and then not necessarily
so they know what was going on.
Moving forward, you have folks that are being turned into housewives from that side joint status. Do you know what I mean? And again, society makes it totally acceptable. Do you know what I mean? Like again, you have. So it's the only thing. Like I guess we're like kids still. We mimic what it is that we see. Do you know what I mean? If society is deeming that it's okay and cool for us to still open arm embrace anything that our sports figures, political figures, or anything like that, anything that they do, it's okay for us to embrace it all the way back to the Bill Clintons, to the Tiger Woods, to the Alicia Keys, since those are people that we look up to and that we see in the public, in the name of lights, if it's okay for them to do it, why isn't it okay for us to do it? Because the thing is, it's like, whether you're rich or poor, you're still affecting people's lives. So the benefit of being the side joint at the end of the day is you're hurting someone else's household. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. Oh my gosh, when this man leaves from in front of my house, or from my house, hopefully before the sun comes up, you know what I mean? Well, I have respect for myself knowing that there's no benefits on a holiday. You know, you get the day before or after the holiday. And some side joints, they're not necessarily aware of the fact that they're side joints.
They might think they're the main joints.
Yes, until something happens out in a social setting and it's like, oh my gosh, well, where the hell did you come from? And where the hell did you come from? Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think another thing is, in today's society, a lot of them have been given hope. I think before, when you say back in the day, or you look back, a lot of men had side joints, but if they were married, it was totally understood. You my side joint, and you always gonna be you never gonna be my main. I'm not gonna allow you to mess with my family. I think as society in today's day and age, so many side joints have waited it out. They have broken through. They have broken the barrier, and they have become the main joint. So I think a lot of them now have hope, and they see that look.
Like what?
I can make it.
I've been here for 5-6 years.
I can make it.
It's my time.
I'm gonna arrive. If I stick and stay long enough and play my position, I can be number one. Because again, like I said, back then it was like, look,
but then when you become number one, the same thing that you did is going to happen to you.
Right. But you gotta understand,
if they're come back around full circle.
If there's no honesty, that's where the problem starts, because you can have 15, 20 jump offs. Can you be honest and say, listen, high five friend, listen, I have a main chick. I'm never going to leave my main chick. Exactly. You are the jump off. I want to hit it and quit it. You're lucky if I decide to order in something fancier than pizza, and we keep it funky. But we don't want to do that because we want the deception, and we want to sit up here and say, oh, well, my chick isn't treating me right. And,
exactly. His
I just
story,
need you.
get his story, and you never get both
stories.
Exactly. And that's why the side joints are like, they suck it all in, and they get that for hope, and they're like, oh, his woman is treating him wrong, and he's coming to me so I can treat him good. All a bunch of bull.
And if you think that whole tricking and giving her stuff is really going to work, I have 2 words for you, and I'm done. Steve McNair.
Oh, wow.
Ouch.
And I think that's all we need to say.
Do you offer any advice to the side joints?
As far as the side joint is concerned, like I said, if you're going to be that side joint, play your position and stay there. Stay on the side. If that's the role you want to play, stay there. But eventually, it's going to all come back full circle. Karma will always come back to bite you in the behind. It is beneficial for a period of time. But again, stay in your lane. That's all. Just stay in your lane.
All right. Well, speaking of lanes, Doc.
Yes.
Do you have any suggestions for the side joint?
Side joints are people too. You have rights, and don't let nobody tell you that you don't.
What is he, the activist for the side joints?
No, side joints, yeah. That's what I got to tell you.
Well,
Stand up.
My advice is, friend, to just practice self-love. Because sometimes it takes a situation like a side joint or a realistic situation for you to see at the end of the day when all the lights are out and you're in a room by yourself, that it's really you who you should be learning how to love and nurture more importantly. And speaking more importantly, let's chat about this some more on the web. Power99.com, right here at the bottom of the page, friend. Click the link, open up the blog, and post all your personal comments, and we'll join Miss Lola again, who of course is the blog writer for Sex, Shoes, and Scandal, hopefully next week or so.
Yeah.
All right, so again, high five right there. Click the link, and we're out. Side Jones.
Peace.
Peace.